So when I promised I would find a penny stock company that would be interesting to look at, I didn't honestly think it would be a company I'd already reviewed right at the beginning of this channel. But first, this. We'd like to thank our sponsor Brain Sensei. So if you're looking to master project management and ace your PMP exam, Brain Sensei offers engaging, story-based learning experiences that make complex concepts easy to understand. Check them out and see if they can help you achieve your career goals. Promotional link is in the description. Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would return to do a SWOT analysis of a company I reviewed a little while ago called Evofem Biosciences Ltd. This is a trailblazer in women's sexual and reproductive health. It has some interesting products that are out there. However, if you look at the share price, it is very, very low and is borderline getting kicked out of the NASDAQ. So yeah, let's crack on, take a look at it. So as usual, our method for this channel is SWOT analysis. That is the strength of the company, the weakness of the company, opportunities of the market for the company, threats to the company from the market, and wider sources. So the strengths of Evofem Biosciences is, if we go for the press pack alone, it's an acclaimed alleged leader in women's sexual and reproductive health. It boasts several key strengths that should position it favourably in its market. If we start off with the portfolio of products, Evofem's flagship product, Phexxi, is a hormone-free on-demand contraceptive gel, which is a significant innovation in the contraceptive market. Unlike traditional hormonal contraceptives, Phexxi offers a non-hormonal alternative, which meets the needs of women who prefer or require hormone-free options. This product differentiates Evofem from its competitors almost entirely and caters to a growing demand for non-hormonal contraceptives. With this, it has a strong intellectual property portfolio because it basically does all the R&D itself over its own products. It has 5 US patents covering Phexxi. It extends this patent protection actually extends all the way to 2023, provides the company with a competitive edge and safeguarding its innovations from generic competition. The strength of this intellectual property portfolio underscores a commitment the company has to maintaining a unique market position. Revenue growth has been pretty consistent, demonstrated consistent revenue growth. Let me see now for 2023 of approximately $18.5 million, which has been the 3rd year of consecutive growth, which is very good for any tech company post Big C. This is a consistent performance amid austerity measures around the world and a reduced sales force, given that basically people are just going for whatever they can get at the moment, for whatever price they can afford, because it's just very expensive out there. Evofem also has successfully established some strategic partnerships to enhance its market access, getting these products out there into the public. The company has negotiated favourable terms with Medi-Cal, which reduces rebates and therefore improves the profitability in theory. Additionally, the partnership it has with key pharmacies like Modern Remedies gives it an ability to expand the distribution network and improves the availability of the products for consumers, you would think. On top of this, we have cost-effective management. They've managed to reduce and manage the operating expenses. Basically, if you look at the 2022 levels between then and now, so it's a year. If you look at their actual financial statements, it looks like it's about 60% they've managed to drop their operational expenses, which is incredible. This might just be because they've basically finished the R&D and they're just basically just starting to put the product together and get these out there for people. So you would expect that some drop in operational expenses, and I think I did cover that on the first video. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. So, has it got any merger? Yes, it has. So there's an anticipated merger with a company called ADITXT Inc. I'm sure that's pronounced completely differently, but I'm not entirely sure. This is expected to strengthen the financial standing of Evofem and its market position. The merger is seen as a strategic move to accelerate the growth and expand the product portfolio and enhance long-term prospects of the primary products and the company as a whole. So if you look at the strengths, it's got great intellectual property on a very unique product that's very important for women's health. Looks good on paper, but given the share price, the weaknesses are probably going to be quite significant. Okay, so the core problem is there's a degree of instability with the company. You get this a lot with R&D companies, with any biotech company, especially ones dealing with health in a way that's not directly linked to large medical issues and diseases. These reproductive issues can be dealt with like in a million different ways. It's not like it's a single kind of idea, which basically means that the R&D for this company and its actual operational cash flow is struggles because of the lack of products being out there at the moment. That's one of the big problems it's got. And the company's reports consistent net losses for a couple of years now. Has a significant loss from operations noted in the most recent financial periods. The first quarter of 2024 alone, Evofem reported loss from operations of $2.8 million US. Although that was an improvement from the previous year. The previous year was $3.6 million. It's still a lot of money for a small company of this scale to lose. The operational costs going up for everybody around the world, but a small company like this, it really just kicks you in the teeth. It's one product operating as a flagship for it, Phexxi. It's great. There are lots of companies out there that just have one product out there, and for a company like this, you'd expect it. So I'm not expecting diversification just yet, although once this does hit the market properly, it could change things. Now, the vulnerabilities this one product does have is that it will be if the regulations change, if the competitive pressures increase, if there are any adverse developments affecting Phexxi from, I don't know, unfavorable clinical results or any single problem with the actual concept itself, failure to actually do what it's supposed to do, then yep, the company is cooked properly. And there is a lot of other companies out there that just can't wait to jump on the bandwagon and will probably be doing the same kind of research into hormone-free contraceptives as well. There's companies like Bayer and Merck dominating the space. These companies have extensive resources far beyond what Evofem has, and already have established market presence, which could basically wipe out what Evofem could bring to the market, and prevent it from actually doing any kind of market penetration, as it were. Now, the operational challenges have included a cyber attack on Change Healthcare, which disrupted the sales process and delayed prescription processing. This is supposed to have had a small knock-on effect to Evofem, according to Market Screener. The incident, coupled with cyclical sale patterns influenced by price increases, resulted in a 38% decrease in net sales for the first quarter of 2024 compared to the same period of the previous year. And given that the sales already were low, just because the product just hit the market and just because we just come off of the austerity of Big C, it's not great. What else have we got in the weakness section? So there's various legal and regulatory risks that are inherent in the biopharmaceutical industry. We can go through those later on when we actually talk about threats to the company, but something that's unique to this, we are expecting it to be a bit of a problem. And this is why we have the volatility in the share price. I think it's gone down about 100% perhaps since I invested in it back beginning of 2022. And I'm not entirely sure whether it's going to ever go back up, basically. So the weaknesses for this company are mainly financial instability, the possibility that it might actually get kicked off of the NASDAQ because its share price is so low. The volatility of the share prices is not good. It's very low, but whether it'll have long-term stability and it can sustain it once its product is out there, that's going to be the interesting bit, and that is entirely dependent on the industry as a whole. So, as you would expect, women's sexual and reproductive health is always going to be a self-sustained industry. There's always going to be there. But whether it's condoms, whether it's some other mechanical device, the opportunities are vast, basically. There is a growing demand out there for non-hormonal contraceptives, so there are opportunities for Evofem to capitalize on this. Many women seem to be seeking alternatives to hormonal birth control due to concerns about the side effects and the long-term health impacts of taking in synthetic hormones. So products like Evofem Biosciences Phexxi, which is the hormone-free contraceptive gel, makes it well positioned to capture this market segment. That's probably the theory behind what they were doing when they actually put everything together. The integration of technology into sexual and reproductive health is opening new frontiers. Innovations such as telehealth services, mobile health applications, and AI-driven diagnostic tools are making it easier for women to access care, track their health, and receive personal treatment plans, as well as do their own research into deciding what they want to do rather than it being advised by a doctor. And a lot of this stuff is basically going to go to just the chemist, where the chemist basically will just turn around and say, well, here are all these options, what do you want? You know, it's not going to be just kind of a standard, here's the pill, see you in a couple of weeks, couple of years, whatever it is. I think that there's definitely going to be a whole shelf in the chemist, the supermarket health section, wherever you get your medicines from. There's going to be a whole shelf that's just dedicated to female reproductive therapies, basically. I can see that coming probably in the next few years. Reproductive health, women's health in general, is it's always been there, but there's a growing recognition of the need for investments in women's health. Organisations like the UN's Population Fund are actively seeking funding to address critical issues in sexual and reproductive health globally. They've launched a $1.2 billion appeal to address reproductive needs in crisis-affected areas, aiming to support 48 million women and girls. This influx of funding would, for a company like Evofem, even a fraction of that, would incredibly expand their reach and potentially turn their company name into a brand name that women go to for their reproductive medicines, basically. It's a good idea. Policy regulations are always going to be favourable to advancing women's health, purely because it allows gender equality to materialise as women control their own health, their own sexual and reproductive rights, especially in countries where these rights haven't been there previously. Generally leads to better social integration and allows women to basically raise the children they have, or even just kind of develop themselves as people before they start having families. This is a huge unmet need across the world, in areas of sub-Saharan Africa, in places in Asia, certainly in places like North America. It's definitely a huge market there that's going to expand like crazy over the next 20, 30, 40 years. as basically the market improves, as people's health improves overall, and everybody comes to the market looking for a better life, essentially. On top of this, there's better education out there for sexual health and reproductive health. The UN pushes this massively. The EU pushes this massively, and I know the USA pushes it massively outside their own borders, because it's better to have neighbours and people around the world who are able to be healthy and not scared. Because if you're not coming from a healthy country, if your country is poor, you're going to be more prone to probably wanting to fight rather than actually sit down and talk and trade and work things out without kind of going, I've only got 20 years left to live, my people only live till they're 50, we're just going to go to war and steal everything we need now. The West, the average age grows most years. There's so many people that live till they're 100 plus. There's no need to fight anymore, because basically it's like we can trade with each other, we can dispute things verbally rather than violently, and a big factor in what creates that is basically people's health, not worrying about dying tomorrow, essentially. People learn to trade the resources, and it makes things much better for everybody. And right at the centre of all that is reproductive health. That's my theory, that's where I think, and that's why I think a company like Evofem has potential to kind of grow. That's how the market looks for a company like this. The women's sexual and reproductive health industry presents numerous opportunities for growth and innovation for this company, by addressing the demand for non-hormonal contraceptives, by leveraging the technological advancements that it has, by securing funding from international agencies and aligning their product with the support policies of different regions, and expanding through educational programs and fostering the collaborations in these. All the companies in the sector can significantly enhance their market presence and contribute to a better, healthy outcome for women globally. So what could take down a company like Evofem Biosciences other than its own hubris and the inability to look after itself financially? Well, of course, it's going to be the regulatory and legal challenges. The landscape of reproductive health regulations is incredibly volatile. You would be surprised that some countries basically view women's health as being a thing of national importance. It is to a certain extent, because you obviously want population growth. And in the United States, the overturning of Roe versus Wade has led to an increased state level restrictions on abortion, which creates an uncertain regulatory environment for companies involved in reproductive health. But for a company like Evofem, you would want it to go out there and basically push its product as an alternative to this, without actually getting involved in the legalities and taking sides. These legal battles not only affect the availability and accessibility of the reproductive health service, but also increase the risk of legal challenges for companies like Evofem, which you may need to navigate the various state laws. Certainly it's going to be a problem, but it's I would have thought just having the medicine for reproductive health might not affect everything completely, although the Pope is still on the fence when it comes to dealing with things like condoms, and I imagine he has the same kind of ideas when it comes to reproductive therapy generally, as to whether people should be allowed to use them in any way, shape or form. The other threats are, well, it's quite simply, you've got different very well funding political groups out there who are mainly religious, who just want women there to breed, and they're going to do what they can to block stuff like this completely. And there's a lot of wars in the world at the moment that are caused by men, essentially, who want to control that stuff, control women's bodies and to prevent them from doing what they want to do with their lives, thinking that we're not individuals, but we're part of a community, and therefore everybody has a responsibility in that community, and women's responsibility is to make babies. That's the biggest threat. That's the thing that takes it all down at the end, and who knows how well that's going to go. It's a crisis, I think, that's facing women at the moment, and a lot of them are just kind of walking into it, not realising that that could be the end of it. Who knows? But I think that's the biggest threat. There are others out there, but like I say, it's mainly cultural. From the market affecting a company like Evofem, it's going to be cultural, it's going to be religious, it's going to be political, and these are the things that are going to affect this and the advancement of reproductive health rights. It's very polarizing politically. It's definitely a challenge for a company like Evofem to overcome. So in conclusion, Evofem Biosciences is hugely affected by the need to get a unique product which is a hormone-free contraceptive to market. Its flaws are that financially it is unstable because of the lack of cash flow within the company from being unable to doesn't have a very mature sales isn't able to kind of sell that many products at the moment. It hasn't got a huge network, it's struggling there. That's its biggest problem. After that, its biggest threats are the cultural and religious misinformation and lack of education regarding women's health and reproductive health in general. But that wouldn't just take down Evofem, that would take down the entire market. That's a different thing altogether. A more kind of realistic threat to the company is the simple fact that the rivals out there can easily, if they produce a similar product, easily wipe Evofem off the market completely. So if you're going to invest in this, keep an eye out for it in the shops. I would say as soon as you start seeing it in the shops, then start putting your money onto Evofem, because then clearly it's got access to the market and it's likely to win from where it is at the moment. It is growing slowly, but its share price has gone all the way down to the bottom. Essentially we're at the bottom of the bubble of a pop bubble of tech companies at the moment, and Evofem is one of those that basically rock bottom. I can't guarantee its shares will actually still be on the market in the next few years, but yeah, please do your research, look at it, see what you think. It's a great product, it's an interesting company, and I'll probably do another review in another year, 18 months time, subject to actually still being listed. Okay, that's it again for this episode. We will rejoin soon. I will try to get another couple episodes out this month. I'm looking for some interesting education-based companies out there, but wait and see. Till next time, ta-ta for now.